The question that I get asked a lot, or at least pretty regularly, is how much can you actually save, or how much is having a Tesla actually saving you? So it's a great question. It's something that piques a lot of people's curiosity, just because in some people's minds, the cost of switching over to an electric vehicle, when you include charging, range loss between a high efficient gas vehicle, and then on top of that, the insurance cost plus, you know, just anything else that goes on with an electric vehicle. It adds up pretty quick, and people get nervous about it, and they start thinking that it's got to cost way more than a gas vehicle does. So I figured I'd just dive right into it. Let's talk about some of the numbers. I'm going to talk about electricity. I'm going to talk about maintenance on the vehicle. I'm going to be talking about my insurance costs, and then I'm just going to throw in a couple other miscellaneous things that I think might be equivalent to both vehicles. So just kind of sit back, relax. You're watching the Tall Tesla Guy. So we're going to jump right into one thing in particular, insurance. People talk about the insurance all the time, whether or not it's more expensive to insure a Tesla than it is a regular gas vehicle. And I can tell you that I do know in some states, now it depends on where you are. We're in Ohio, and Ohio doesn't seem to have as crazy insurance regulations as, say, California did when I lived there. So I am paying less in Ohio than I was in California for two gas vehicles, being now that I have one gas vehicle and an electric vehicle. So that aside, prior to getting our Tesla, now we have a Tesla Model Y all-wheel drive long-range edition. Prior to getting our Tesla, we had two gas vehicles. We had an SUV and we have a sedan. Now we still have the sedan, and then we have our Tesla. So we were paying about $160 a month, $155 or so for our SUV gas-powered and our sedan gas-powered. We sold the SUV gas power, bought our Tesla, and now we pay $172. So it ends up being about $12 more a month, a little over $100 a year, about $150 a year, I guess, that we're paying for having the Tesla versus a regular vehicle. And I can't say that has anything to do with the Tesla specifically. The vehicle that we had prior to the Tesla was a lot cheaper in value, a lot cheaper in price, all that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of it has to do more with the fact that you have a higher priced vehicle than just a higher priced vehicle that's a Tesla. So it's something to keep in mind. Certainly talk with your insurance before you get it and when you're kind of exploring it. But I can tell you from my standpoint, the insurance was not a factor, and it still isn't. One thing people ask about all the time too is the electricity cost, because obviously you have to charge the vehicle versus going to a gas station. Now I do pay for charging, of course. We charge it at home. I installed a 240 outlet in our house. I threw a video in there before about the installation there, but so I have the benefit of being able to charge at home. Now, if I didn't have that outlet and I was charging either on a 110, it would work, just take a lot longer. Or if I had to go to superchargers all the time, my cost would certainly go up. But in my case, I'm just paying my home electricity charge, which is about 13 cents per kilowatt hour, something like that. I've noticed, and this is over the past 6 months looking at my bill versus this time last year, also the previous 6 months just before we bought the Tesla. So, just to kind of give myself a fair apples to apples comparison, I pay about $12 to $15 more a month now that we are charging the Tesla than I was prior to having it. Now we charge the Tesla to about 80% every day. At least we keep it around 80%. The only time we peak it up at 100% is if we're going on a long road trip. Like we did a range test over a few weekends back, and we did charge it to 100% at that point. But typically our day-to-day is 80%. Now we only use maybe 30% of that because it is, we're both working from home, all that sort of stuff. So it's not charging as much as we normally would if we were driving to the office. We put about 30 miles a day on it versus maybe 60 and a regular commute about 30 each way. So, taking that into consideration, the $12 to $15 that we're spending on electricity now versus what I was paying for in gas and our, equivalently sized SUV gas vehicle, we were spending about $40 a week. So about $160 a month, about $1,900 a year, and that's gas alone. So the $12 to $15 a month that we pay for our Tesla electricity usage is a considerable amount different from what we would be paying for gasoline. In fact, with our gas vehicle, we spend about $115 a year to change the oil. We spend about $140 a year to charge our Tesla. So it's pretty close to the cost we were paying for the oil change in the gas vehicle. And of course, with the Tesla, there is no oil change. In fact, the only real maintenance you have with a Tesla yearly is putting some washer fluid in it, which is the same thing you'd put in a gas vehicle. And then Other than that, it's just regular cleaning. Tires, you tend to burn through tires a little bit quicker on an electric vehicle just because of that torque that you have with it. But I haven't experienced any of that, and I have to replace tires on my gas vehicle anyway. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So the big question that everybody kind of has is, how much can you save? So in my case, I'm saving about, a little under $1,900 a year just by not putting gas in it, or just by not having an additional gas vehicle. Now it's offset $10, $15 a month for the insurance, like we said in the beginning. It's offset by $10, $15 a month for the electricity. But for the most part, I'm saving quite a bit of money just by having the electric vehicle. Now, you can say the Tesla cost more. It did cost more than our gas vehicle, our equivalent gas vehicle did, but we've had similarly priced gas vehicles before that used even more gas than our most recent SUV did. So those would be astronomically higher than what we're paying on the Tesla anyway. You also get that kind of warm fuzzy feeling that you're helping the environment, at least a little bit, with carbon emission. And then on top of that, it's a Tesla. So you have the driving enjoyment, you have the comfort of the vehicle, you have the excitement when you hit the accelerator, you have the one pedal driving, you have the technology that comes with the Tesla versus other vehicles. So that kind of adds to it too. So, if you're trying to put a value on that kind of thing, it's hard to kind of quantify it a little bit, but I can say alone that the nearly $2,000 I save on gas is something that was exciting to me, and it's something that I'm definitely sticking behind too. So I did mention earlier the tires. Now we did have somehow we got a screw on the interior of our tire. There's a lot of construction around where we are anyway, so it didn't totally surprise me, but it is something that I had to bring to Tesla to get them fixed, and just because they have all the tires there anyway like that. So I had to bring it to Tesla to get it fixed. It ended up costing me about $330 for the tire. Seemed a little extreme, but I spent $1,100 for 4 tires, just standard road tires on my gas vehicle. So if this is $330 and I'm spending $1,200, $1,300 for 4 tires on a Tesla, it's pretty equivalent. A couple $100 more than what I was paying on my gas vehicle. So it's not a total surprise. It was just something that I added to it. And I know that, like I said, Teslas do burn through tires a little bit quicker. So I'm assuming that I'm not going to get the 50,000 miles I would get out of maybe a gas vehicle tire. So it's closer to maybe 20,000, something like that, 30,000, just because of that torque. So that's kind of something to add down the road. But at 6 months, we haven't experienced it yet. So more to come on that one as we get to that point. And it comes down to, is it worth it to you? Is it going to help you save money? You need to look at your situation. Look at the, electricity usage or electricity charges in your area. Look at, some of the insurance rates in your area. But I can say that you will certainly save money on gas, obviously. And then the other stuff that comes along with it too. So more to come down the road. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Hit that like button if you did. Think about subscribing. We throw videos up there all the time, weekly anyway, about stuff through this electric vehicle journey. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day, having a fantastic week, month so far, and staying safe out there. Thanks for watching, guys.